Hey, what's up guys? Kool-Aid here. Today we're going to be going over a couple beginner's tips for Dirty Bomb. Now, if you've been playing Dirty Bomb for a while, you probably know most of the things we're going to talk about here. Nothing here is really groundbreaking, but if you're like me and you come from a different style of first-person shooters, then some of these things might be a little new to you. So anyways, that's what we're going to go over today, just some real basic stuff of how to transition a little easier into Dirty Bomb. Maybe you won't struggle as much, or maybe you'll just be a little bit better off by watching this video. So the first thing, and these are in no particular order, the first thing I want to go over is running with your knife out actually makes you faster. Now, I have never really played an FPS that's like this. Counter-Strike is the only other one that I can think of, and I barely played Counter-Strike. But yes, running with your knife out as opposed to running with your weapon out or gun out will actually make you run faster. I don't know the exact difference, but it's definitely noticeable. So anytime you spawn and have to run long distances, pull your knife out, you'll get there a little bit quicker. Number two, don't ADS or aim down sights in this game. There are very few situations where I would actually recommend aiming down sights, such as if you're shooting at an unaware target or you're shooting at somebody at really long distances. But other than that, it's really going to hurt you more than it actually helps. I don't know if you gain much of an accuracy bonus at all from aiming down sights, but I do know that it is going to make you less mobile, and this game is just as much about not getting shot as it is about actually shooting other people. And you don't get to customize your optics in this game very much like you do in other games. So a lot of the iron sights are really just going to block your view, and pulling up your weapon in general is going to lower your field of view. So aiming down sights is probably going to hurt you in more situations than it would actually help. Next, don't forget to finish people. We've all played games with medics, and this game is no different. You are able to be revived after you've been downed. Now, the thing is, in this game, you can actually prevent people from being revived by finishing them once they are down. Basically, when you kill somebody in this game, they won't be fully dead. They'll go to the ground. They will not be able to shoot back at you. The only exception to this is Nader, who can't drop a grenade on you. But aside from that, everybody else is just there, immobile, waiting for either a revive or a respawn. So a simple knife, sniper shot to the head, or just by putting a few more rounds in them will finish them off and prevent them from being able to be revived. And this is especially important if it's around the objective. There's nothing worse than killing a couple people trying to arm some C4, only to have a medic run in, revive both of them up, and now you have 3 people to deal with as opposed to just one medic. Also, on the topic of revives, every Mercer class in this game has the ability to revive. However, it takes a very long time if you are not a medic. And the reason I bring this up is simply not to say that you can revive. It's basically to say don't always try to revive if you're not playing a medic. It's nice to revive your teammates, but if you're going to get yourself killed as well as the other person killed again right afterwards in the process, it's not worth it. And if you're not playing one of the medic classes and it takes you that long to do so, there's a good chance you standing there immobile, you're going to make somebody a nice target. So pick and choose your revives carefully, especially if you're not playing one of the medic classes. The next thing I want to talk about is class selection. When you go into a match of Dirty Bomb, you can choose 3 mercs to choose from per match. And you can change between the mercs anytime you die, or after the match is over while you're in the lobby, you can change them out and add more mercs into your trinity. But you can only have 3 at one given time. Now, there are very specific roles in Dirty Bomb that certain mercs play. For example, you have Engineer class, which includes Bushwhacker, Fletcher, and Proxy. And the Engineer class can do anything with objectives faster than any other class. Arm C4, disarm C4, repair EVs. You get the picture, and you can see why it would be important to have one of these classes. So I always have one of them in my trinity. Another class that I always have in my trinity is one of the 3 medics. This includes Aura, Sparks, or Sawbones. Again, I don't need to explain to you why it's important to have a medic in your trinity. Now, for the third spot, you can pretty much do anything here. I always like to include one of the classes that can call in some sort of airstrike, whether it's Artie with his mortars, Skyhammer with his airdrop, or Kira with her orbital strike. This is really good for maps that have EVs. Now, not every map does have an EV, and You don't necessarily need to use one of these guys. I kind of leave that spot open. There are certain maps, I think Underground might be the only one actually, where you can't really even call in an airstrike on most spots of the map, so their special ability is actually pretty worthless. But for the most part, you really want to keep an engineer and a medic in your trinity, unless you just absolutely don't like playing those type classes for whatever reason. But if you want to maximize your team's potential to win and maximize how effective you can actually be, it is important to change classes on the fly depending on what part of the map you're on, what the objective is, and what your teammates are playing. You know, if none of your teammates are playing a medic and you guys are having a hard time pushing anywhere, it might be a good idea to switch to medic and keep your teammates up. I'm not going to go into a bunch of examples, but changing classes on the fly is pretty important in this game to your team's success. And lastly, but definitely not least, and this is something that I stress in every FPS I play, not just Dirty Bomb, is flanking. You know, Dirty Bomb doesn't have huge maps like a Battlefield game or PlanetSide 2. However, almost every objective in the game does have multiple pathways to access it, and multiple ways just to get behind the enemy team, flank them, and wreak some havoc and help your team push forward. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have. If you are pretty new to Dirty Bomb and you're thinking about playing, hopefully this video will help you out a little bit. If I forgot some stuff, which I'm pretty sure I probably did, leave some tips in the comment section if you think you have some tips that can help out newer players as well, or even just struggling players that like Dirty Bomb but may not be having the success that they wish they were having. So anyways, guys, that's all I have. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.